I also say to authors all the time, there's no excuse anymore not to be published. There's just so many ways now to be published that every author can be published. Everyone. Even if you have the smallest, most limited book, most limited audience, you can do a small first printing. You can keep it small. I knew a publisher in West Marin, I'm in Marin County, California here, who did little local history books. And he knew his market was local people in a small population county. And he set it up and published beautiful books. And he would sell, maybe, if he sold 500, he'd be totally happy. So he found a way to be published and to be happy and to make it work. And everybody can find a way to be published and be happy and make it work. Everybody. And if you can't, you only have yourself to look at. You're your only block to the way to being happily published. You can't blame anybody else. So think about that one for a while. I'll quickly just say how I got started. I got tricked into doing some workshops, and I wanted to give people notes, and I gave them piles of notes. And then I started stapling them and then realized maybe I had a book. And I literally looked up book and publish in a dictionary. And it turns out it's any number of pages that have any kind of binding and that is made public in any way. So that can mean 2 copies. It could mean one for you and one for your mother, and then you've published a book of something stapled together. So anyone can do that, and that's exactly how I started. Then I took it to a little local bookstore, Shambhala Books in Berkeley. I loved the store. And I said, would you take my book? And they said, well, we'll take 5 on consignment. I said, what's that mean? They said, well, if we sell it, we'll pay you for it. Come back in a month, see if we sold it, and we'll give you 60% of cover price. And I said, are all these books on consignment? That shows you I knew nothing about business. I'd been an actor and a musician. I knew nothing about business. I had no interest in business. But they said, oh, no, these come through distributors. And I said, how does that work? They said, oh, go see Book People. They were the local distributor. Wherever you live, there might be somebody around who distributes books. If not, there's somebody in your country who distributes books who will pick up your book if you have a decent print book. I went to Book People. They were in Berkeley. I remember they looked at my book. They didn't seem interested at all in the content. And that's another thing. As an author, as a salesperson for your book, do not go on and on and on about the content to your distributors or even your publisher. They want the elevator pitch. They want it short and sweet. They don't want to sit there and listen to a 45-minute spiel about how great your book is or what the specific content is. They want to get to know it very quickly. So I showed Randy Beek at Book People my book, I remember, and he took one look at it and said, well, you got to typeset it, you got to print it much better, you have to have a spine on it. He said, we can't sell it into bookstores without a spine, so you got to get it printed with a spine and get a much better cover, and then we'll pick it up. So, okay, I went, I got a job and saved some money, and then I did my first printing. At that time, we had to print about 2,000 copies to get the price down reasonably. Now, print on demand, you can print any number of copies, so it's even easier and cheaper. But I printed 2,000 copies of the thing, and I went back to Randy Beek, and Book People started distributing it, and we started making a little bit of money, and so I self-published another book, and then my girlfriend, Shakti Gawain, wrote one that I published called Creative Visualization. Then we had something going. We had a word-of-mouth phenomenon. We had very poor distribution. We had no marketing. We didn't send out a review copy. We didn't promote in any way. But it started selling word of mouth. Now, that's a magical thing. That may or may not happen to you. But it did to us, and that's why I feel so fortunate. But the next thing I did, I went to a publishing